Hello, and welcome to Inside My Bedroom Closet. It's Monday night, and I go live on Monday nights and TikTok at 7 o'clock p.m. And I'm welcoming everyone inside the bedroom closet. Come on in, guys. Come on in. We're going to have a little education, as we always do on Mondays, for about 15-20 minutes. And then I take a little Q&A, if you like. I've got some answers to your questions about sex, love, relationships, and health. And that's what we do inside the bedroom closet. But on Mondays, we dedicate the live to sex because that's the number one topic a lot of people like to discuss. And tonight we're talking about porn. I do want to go over a couple of topics that I discussed last week and see if you have any thoughts about that. Before we get into the education, as always, I've got my notes because I want to make sure that I give you guys some information that's on my mind, and I don't always recall everything, so I wanted to make sure I took notes. So welcome everyone inside my bedroom closet. And last week we talked about a subject that someone brought up in conversation where we were discussing relationships and the importance of relationships and dating and things of that nature. And there are all different types of relationships. And this one particular person that I was speaking to was in a relationship, as they call friends with benefits. Well, that works for them, and sometimes it works for others when you're not looking for a commitment. But remember, sex binds you to another person. You've got all that chemistry involved as far as your emotions, your genitals. You're all hot and heavy. All your hormones are overworking, So there's a potential of getting attached to that person. So what happens when you're in a relationship with a friend for the benefits, but then you decide that maybe you want to take it to the next level and the other person decides they don't. They just want to be the friend with the benefit. So that's something that you have to definitely think about when you want to engage in those type of relationships. And some people do it because they don't want to be tied to a specific person. Some people do it because they're in between what they call finding the right person to be in a relationship with. But remember, when you're in a friends with benefits type of relationship, you open yourself up to wanting to compare the new person that you meet to the person that you got those benefits from, because you don't have benefits with a person that's bad in bed. I mean, that's just normal. If you're having a friend with some benefits, then they knocking it out. I mean, they're doing exactly what you need to do in order to get you where you need to be. So if you get with another person, are you comparing that great sex that you had with the friend, or are you not looking so much as to that person that can satisfy you sexually, so you may not want to be with them in a relationship? So that's something to think about, the friends with the benefits. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining, and welcome inside my bedroom closet. Don't forget to like, share, and follow, and let everyone know that I'm here on Monday nights on TikTok live at 7 o'clock. Tonight we're going to discuss a new topic, but another relationship topic that we discussed was long distance relationship. Long distance relationships can be great. A lot of people engage in long distance relationships because internet dating is so prevalent these days. You can meet someone and they meet all the criteria, but they live over there. They live somewhere else. You have to travel to meet them. And things were hard during the pandemic for people that were in long distance relationships. And that's one of the topics that I was counseling someone on, because the relationship soured during the pandemic and they started to meet other people, but they had a great chemistry with the person that they were with somewhere else. So that's something you definitely want to think about. But, they can be great for others. There's different type of sexual activities that you can get into in order to ignite that relationship and keep it going. They have toys that you can have on here, and they can be operating it from over there on their cell phone and giving you all that wonderful pleasure. And then there's sexting and texting and all kinds of little things that you can do to keep it hot and arousing for you until you guys decide on what you're going to do in order to meet, if that's what you want, in order to solidify it and be together. So with long distance relationships, they can definitely work. You know, some people engage in them basically because their lives may be busy and they don't have time for a person to be with them 24/7 in the environment that they're in. So they reach out and touch with the person that they feel comfortable with. And then they decide to meet, and the sex is great because, you know, sometimes they say absence make the heart not sometimes wonder, but sometimes grow fonder. So that's something for you to think about. So tonight we're going to go over some information about pornography. And pornography can be a plus and it can be a minus. And the reason for that is because there are millions, billions of Americans that engage in pornographic activity on a regular basis. So you do have those recreational users. And don't forget, I have to put on my glasses to see my notes. But you do have those recreational viewers of pornography, and they're very healthy in their habits. That's about 75% of the people that watch porn, and they watch it about 25 minutes, 30 minutes. But don't forget, you do have those that get into excessive compulsive behaviors with it, and we'll discuss that a little bit later. But as far as recreational porn, the first topic that we're going over, there's billions of Americans that participate in recreational porn, whether they're single and they're looking for moments of arousal, whether they're masturbating or they're by themselves, or they may have saw something that piqued their interest and they came in and they decided to look it up in a sexual context because there's so many different free porn sites. And for example, Pornhub, they get on an average about 155 viewers every day. And that is amazing. 155 million viewers every day. And that's just not one type of porn. They offer all types of porn. The category and the list are endless, and it depends on your appetite. Sometimes people like to, for recreational use in couples, they like to watch different types of porn if they thought about getting into a threesome, or if they thought about cuckolding or cross-dressing, or if they thought about same sex or anything like that. They have porn for it to pique your arousal in order to make your sexual encounters a little bit more arousing and enticing. Because remember that pornography is essentially like an addiction to the brain. You know, some people are addicted to alcohol, and the sight of the bottle, the taste of the liquor, it just excites them and increase those dopamine levels. Remember, we talked about dopamine. So then you also have people that are addicted to drugs. They get that same dopamine rush. They feel so excited about just the thought of it, the drive to the person to pick it up, and then the first hit. Same way with porn. You take a look at it and it draws you in, and you may be looking at something that you like for 5, 10, 15 minutes, 25 minutes, and before you know it, time gets away from you, and those are the ones that have that excessive compulsive disorder with it. But for those that are doing it for recreational use, it's totally healthy. It's something that you definitely want to engage in if you're looking for some self-pleasure and some assistance, because that visual stimulation gives you exactly what you need in order to get you where you want to be. Then that's what you do. And remember that men are visual. So it's not saying that mostly men engage in porn, but a lot of peer pressure from young men to discuss sex and talk about different types of sex. They are peer pressured into watching different types of porn and even masturbating to it, to just say that they did watch it and to get off. And they share all type of sexting clips and things of that nature, because the internet has opened it up where you can research all different types of porn. So the next type of porn that we're going to talk about, and that'll be next Monday night, because I want to give everyone time for a little Q&A. But we're going to get more into the recreational porn. But next Monday, we're going to talk about those who have unhealthy sexual porn addictions, but they're not excessive to the point that they're compulsive. And that's, a category for those that want to take a deeper dive into it. But if you're looking at porn recreationally, by yourself, looking it up just because you want to see different types of activities that are out there, something that, you may not have been able to engage in, but it's something that you want to fantasize about. And fantasies are healthy. Remember, you want to have as many sexual orgasms as possible in order to keep your genitalia healthy down there. That throbbing sensation for ladies is just letting you know that you can still contract those pelvic muscles, which is good for you. So if you're in between relationships and it's sex is not something that you're having on a regular basis, but you definitely want to have that release, and that dopamine of watching the porn gives you an experience to where you want to engage in self-pleasure, then that's totally, of course, healthy for you. So with couples, once again, and whether you're in a same-sex relationship or heterosexual relationship, you may not be involving yourself in the fantasies that pique your curiosity or take your relationship to a different level, whether you're just having, regular sex, as they call it, the atypical vanilla sex. It's just plain. It's nothing to it. So sometimes you want to add a little creativity in the bedroom. What do? You may turn on a porn that you guys both would enjoy. So you have to talk about it. You have to have conversations with your mate about what type of sex would pique their interest so that you can watch porn together. We talked about before, how men are visually stimulated by things that they feel that piques their arousal. Find out what that is. Women can be visually stimulated, but not as much as men. But it can draw you in if you watch porn, because people enjoy sexual release, and that's nothing new. But I'm going to scroll and see if there are any questions before I keep going. Thank you guys for coming inside the bedroom closet on a Monday night. I definitely enjoy you guys being here. Thank you so much. I appreciate the pretty compliment. You're a fan. Thank you. I appreciate it. Make sure you come back and join me and let your friends know hello. That used to be my favorite. Not sure what you're speaking of. Let's see. But if porn is your favorite, then that's fine. There's totally nothing wrong with it. It's a healthy situation that you can get into without becoming over inundated with it. I can say that. This man is very cerebral. Nothing is more frustrating than I can't read that. I'm sorry. What are your thoughts on kinks? I think kinks are great. I coach to kinks, kinky behavior. Sexual kinks is something that you can look up on porn, Hub, and other free porn sites to see what type of kink that you're into, how far you want to go into the kink. If it's kink with the dressing up, if it's kink with having harnesses as attachments to penetrate your significant other, whether they're male or female, whether it's getting into the dress up of kink, whether it's getting into the spankings, the BDSM. Kink is a big variety. It's a huge dictionary of kink. So I think kink adds spice to your relationship, and that's a conversation that you want to have with someone. And it's not like an interview. When you start talking about sex, and most people who meet, the number one reason they meet is because they want to get together sexually. That's not a secret. A guy gets with you to want to have sex with you. I mean, he may want to get with you to hold your hand, but not too many of them just want to stroll, unless they take in that horizontal stroll with you. So you want to definitely meet someone that piques your interest that way. But then when you start having a conversation, open up the dictionary and see how comfortable they are with talking about the one thing that you guys want to do, and that's to have sex together, and ask, those easy questions or those hard questions. The easy ones are, if they enjoy sex on a regular basis. And if they say yes, what is regular to them? They may want to have sex every day, where you may want to have sex 2 or 3 times a week. They may want to have a certain type of sex, and it's not something that you are familiar with, but you can always look it up and say, that interests me. I might want to do that. So that's what I think about kink. I think kink adds spice to any relationship. Let's see. Thank you so much. I appreciate you enjoying the show. And hopefully you'll join me again. I want to do more lives, but I do have other commitments. So I try to make sure that I keep this commitment on TikTok, because this is a great audience and a great platform. Let's see, one of my clients disclosed breeding kink. Do you know where this may originate from? Well, kinks, we can talk about that, a little bit more in detail. And I'll do a show on kinks, hopefully really soon. But the breeding kink is definitely something that a lot of people... And see, the one thing that you guys have to understand about porn, you're not the only one who thinks of different types of brain activity for arousal when it comes to porn. That's because when you look it up, someone else is thinking the same thing. Some people decide that they want to put it on different sites for financial gain, because they know that other people are looking for the same type of kinky behavior or the same type of behaviors that get them into the situation where they can have the peak of sexuality for themselves. So don't think that any type of kink is beyond, and people get it from innate behaviors that they have. So it goes a little deeper than just giving a definition of it, but that is a great question. And when I discuss kink, I'll answer that question for you more in detail. Let's see. What's your response to the saying, can't turn a hoe into a housewife? Well, what do you consider a hoe? So and I know what you're talking about, but if you're talking about someone that expresses themselves creative sexually in their own time and space, where it's not upsetting or hindering anyone's life other than their own, but when they decide that lifestyle is no longer for them, and they definitely want to find someone that they can share their life with, I think that person, and I know you're speaking of a woman, so I know that person can, anyone can make a change, and you cannot pinpoint or title or label someone on past sexual activities, because you can say that a man could have been a hoe in the streets, and do you want to turn him into a house husband? Do you think he could be faithful once you marry him and everything out in the streets is not provoking his interest for him to want to hump or jump or get into the sack with? Same way with a woman, and I believe that when a woman becomes committed to a man and she's had that lifestyle of whatever it is that she wants as far as her appetite for sex, and that's been satisfied, but she wants to share her sexual creativity with one person, yes, she can be a housewife. So I'm open to all types of questions, but, can a man be a house husband? If he's been in the street gallivanting, being Casanova, slanging that thing from left to right all over the place, can he be, the one that you want to say I do to? So that's something to think about, but great question. I know someone else may have had that question as well, but you guys have some great questions. Thank you so much for coming inside the bedroom closet. Let's see. Yep, nothing is necessarily gender specific. Thank you so much so I'm waiting because I know this love is authentic to me. And it can be, because like I said, everyone makes a change in their life. Whether it's their sexual appetite change from one generation to the next, because in your 20s your sexual appetite is totally different. The way you have sex is totally different. It's a little hot, it's a little heavy, it's a little steamy, it's a little fast, it's a little all that. It's a lot of the you can go for a longer time. When you get into your 30s, you think about the significant other that you want to have sex with. Sometimes you're still exploring if you started peaking sexually at a later age and you didn't have as much sex in your 20s for whatever reason. You could have abstained. Then you're married and your sexual knowledge may not be as strong as you want it to be, because pornography is also used for education. People want to learn what it is that's out there, because who do you talk to about it? Everybody don't know a sexologist. Yep. So because everyone does not have someone that they can talk to about sex, then they choose to look at pornography and get the education from there. But pornography is not love. That's not real love making. The angles are not really conducive to anything other than maybe some great fun, But remember, it's a show. They're getting paid to do it, and you may be paying to watch. Never know. But at the same token, your sexual appetite changes also in your 40s. You want to settle down with someone. And if you were running a little rampant in the streets and people say, oh, she's been, nobody knows specifically, who they slept with. And, so, people can have their own opinion of someone. But if you authentically have a connection with someone, you can trust them with your heart, and that person seems genuine in every approach. I say give love an opportunity to flourish in your life, and you know how you feel more than what someone else has to say. So that was a long, short answer. Hopefully it helped answer your question. So let's see. Some people, yes, use pornography for entertainment purposes only, but anything that you do for entertainment purposes can also draw you in. Like I said, whether it's alcohol, I enjoy a cocktail, but not every day. So I'm not addicted to the alcohol. And when I have a cocktail, I only like to have one, because I'm not a big drinker. I don't like the effects of alcohol in my system. So that's me personally. But when it comes to others, one drink can lead to a second, lead to a third. Before you know it, you're a little slurry, you're falling off whatever you're on, and, it may become an addictive behavior because you enjoyed the way you felt. Some people enjoy sex better when they've been drinking. Some people enjoy sex better when they've had some type of drug in their system. And some people enjoy sex better when they're watching what they want to see someone else do, and that dopamine level starts to rush. So, yeah, you have that. But these are great questions that you've got inside the bedroom closet for me. What if they say that they messed up with y'all care for each other and they didn't want to hurt you? Well, some people don't intend to hurt others, and that's the thing you have to understand. Some people, of course, have no intention of hurting, but it's how much you open yourself up to that person and express the way that you feel in what it is that you're doing and your efforts in the relationship. Some people have messed up in relationships, but some people change over time. Sometimes you have relationships that may have fallen by the wayside, no specific reason. As we mentioned before, long distance relationships, friends with benefits, sometimes they just stop for no specific reason. And then you can catch up with that person later on in life and remember some of the greatest qualities that person had, and then that allows you guys to reconnect. And if it's later in life, the sex may not have been as important as it was before, so the connection is stronger for different reasons. I hope that makes sense, because as you grow older, your preferences change, your thought process change. Thank you so much. I appreciate the hearts and the diamonds and everything that you guys give inside the bedroom closet. But things in life change, and you have to change with it. I'm a woman of a certain age, you know, and when you are progressing through your age sexually, you know that your appetite change, and you look for a little bit more care and affection. You look for a little bit more attention to detail. And you know what those details are, because at a certain age, you've maybe touched yourself or maybe not, but you may have come across a spot that someone else touched before that you know make you feel good, and you want to experience that again. So at a certain age, you know how you want to be touched and loved. So, and I always say, you can't, everybody has a past. You know, everybody, and the one thing in relationships, I think where people make mistakes is they want to know so much about your past that they hold it against who you are presently. What bearing does that have on what you may have done in your past? I used to what? Ride a bike in my past. I don't anymore. Does that have any bearing on the fact that my legs still work? No. So everyone has a past, and don't hold that against someone. Look at who they are present day, because remember this, and I know you've heard the quote, a person will show you who they are. Believe the person that you see, not the person you want to see. That's not what you're going to get. You're not going to get this person you want to see out of what you exactly see. You may get attached to someone's personality. You may get attached to someone's look. Looks change, looks fade. You may get attached to other things that a person has, but that's who they are. And if you don't see what you want, then that's why you moved on. And remember the reason why you're not with a certain person anymore. You know, the sex could be great, but there were other things that were not so great. But sometimes you want to give people a chance that you may not have been with before. Just based on what you may know about them, things change, so remember that. All right, let's see. 49 years old, substance overall carnality. Am I reading that right? Carnality, can you give me a little bit more detail? Of course, carnality means to eat the body. So if you like to eat, suck, bite, things of that nature, if that's what you're talking about, if you're talking about watching sexual carnality, I'm not sure, what you may be saying specifically. So, all right. So you guys have any other questions inside the bedroom closet? Hopefully I haven't missed anyone. We've been talking for quite a little time now. And I definitely enjoy you guys coming inside the closet with me on a Monday night. I've got a series that I'm talking about every Monday for the rest of this month, and it's on pornography. Tonight we talked about recreational use. If you're by yourself or in a relationship and you want to explore some different aspects of what you may want to get into, you can look up different types of porn and pique your arousal alone or by yourself, like we said. Like I said earlier, you may be in between relationships. You may not want to engage your current partner in what it is that you're interested in, so you may want to watch porn for that reason. But recreational porn is definitely healthy. It does not consume most of your life, most of your day, and it's something that you want to do for that dopamine rush. We will talk about next Monday night another type of porn. It's a non-compulsive behavior, but it is somewhat addictive as far as appetite. So I'm going to talk about that next Monday night. And then the last Monday of the month, I think I got to see how many Mondays it is. I may have to stretch it. But of course, compulsion to sexual pornography is the last one. But before I let you go, of course, I do like to promote my product that I've been promoting for the last 3 weeks. It's the Magical Kitty Cat. It's sold by the_goddessshop.com. So look for the Magical Kitty Cat. it promotes vaginal moisture, and it also helps promote a happy and healthy libido. Now, I have been taking it, like I said, for about 3 weeks. Last few pills. I think I got about 4 or 5 left. I've ordered my second bottle, but it actually works. You can feel the vaginal moisture, the libido. Based on the person, you could always have an active libido, but could help a little bit more. But yeah, so I've really enjoyed the product. It's made of maca root, and that's an all-natural product. You can look it up, and it is known for increasing the libido. And slippery elm, is known for the bark to have that slippery product on the inside as you cut it. So it's made of those two products. But make sure you head over to the_goddessshop.com and look for the magical kitty cat. Enter the code IMBC for your savings and enjoy. Let me know what you think. If you like the product, I've had quite a few people that have ordered and let me know that they've started taking it themselves. So let me know about that. But other than that, guys, I don't know if I have any other questions before I end the show. Let's see. All right. So, yes, moderation is everything. 2-shot minute over here. Well, some people can have orgasms, if you're talking about from porn, very quickly. Because if you're not engaging in porn on a regular basis, then, of course, the minute that you see something that piques your arousal, that brain activity, and you have to understand your brain is so powerful. Your brain is so powerful when it comes to anything regarding sexual activity. And the sight of it increases that dopamine level that gives you that excessive rush, the thought of, the anticipation of, the wanting to, I can't help I can't unzip my pants fast enough. I can't stick it in the hole quick enough. I can't do anything fast enough. And once I do, 1-2 strokes, you're over. Well, this is with a female, and you're playing with your clitoris, and you can play with a clitoral stimulator, and you can do it and have it on that a powerful vibrating pulsating whatever you call it, where you can give the different types of pulsating, and you put it there, and boom, you have an orgasm right away. Guys, you can see something visually, and it stimulates you so much because this is the fantasy that you create for yourself over and over again in your head, and to visually see someone act that out, boom, a couple of strokes. If you're masturbating, then it's over. Even if you're in a relationship with someone and you guys are watching the type of porn that really, really piques your interest and you don't engage, like threesomes. You may not engage in threesomes, but it's something that you definitely want to do. And when you watch it, it automatically turns you on to the point that you stick it in, and yeah, you can express yourself in a couple of minutes, then it's over. So I always recommend, if you are a premature ejaculator, before you get started in a sexual activity, you may want to masturbate, get it over with, then have your sexual activity, watch the porn together, and it may take a little bit longer because your refractory response cycle takes a little bit longer for you to build up to have another orgasm. So hopefully that helped. All right, so let's see. You guys have any more questions? Can a man stop making super... I'm not sure what that is. Super what? I'm not really sure. Okay. Not sure if you guys have any other questions, but I will, of course, I try to clip the lives and put it on for you throughout the week to give you some information for those who may have missed the live show. We try to do about 30 minutes. I'm sorry if you joined late. You missed a lot of information. Thank you guys that did join, and for the roses, the diamonds, Everything is so great on TikTok. I look forward to it every Monday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. So make sure if you're doing anything, you can set a little reminder that I'm here, and I keep my commitment. If I don't, I let you know, and I do make it up. But I appreciate you guys joining me tonight inside my bedroom closet, and join me again. And don't forget to like, follow, and share. Have a good night.